The Yumkyung Union of Kohima celebrated Metumyo Festival at Botanical Garden, New Minister Hill, Kohima on 8 August. President of Yumkyung Union Kohima, Akam, shared in brief the significance of the festival. Deputy Chief Minister Yantongo Patan led surprise inspection at various government offices in Woka, assessing staff attendance and reinforcing the state's no work, no pay policy. Cambodia has nominated US President Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize, becoming the third country to back his bid after Pakistan and Israel. Israel's Security Cabinet approves plan to take over Gaza City, expanding its 22-month offensive against Hamas. PM Netanyahu aims to control Gaza Strip fully and hand administration to friendly Arab forces. Hello viewers, this is Ranjimi Himjoy and you're watching English Primetime. Now the news in details. The Sumi Hoho has strongly condemned the Department of Higher Education for its continued neglect of Zunopoto Government College, the only government arts college in district. Despite earlier appeals, another assistant professor from the history department has been transferred, worsening the staff shortage. The Hoho questioned whether the department intends to shut down the college altogether, calling the move unjust and discriminatory. The demand immediate revocation of all faculty transfer, warning that if the situation continues, the people of Zunopoto will take democratic action to protect their educational rights. This, they say, is not just administrative, it's about dignity, equality and justice. The Sutozomi Chess Association in Peck District will host the first ever Nagaland Online Open Chess Tournament on August 15 at 1:30 p.m. under the Nagaland Chess Association. The event will be played in 13-round Swiss format on liches with a 3-minute blitz time control. A prize pool of 20,800 will be awarded across various categories, including top 20 open players, top 3 in under 17 and under 11, along with special prizes for the best female and veteran players. The Football Association Simeonu District has bid an emotional farewell to their star striker, Yushan Lokem, fondly known as the goal-scoring machine. In his final match at IG Stadium Kohima, Kemp scored twice, leading FATT to 3-1 win over FA Mallory. Born in Centennial Village, Kemp's football journey spans over 2 decades, playing for top clubs and representing Nagaland in major tournaments like Sandosh Trophy and Dr. Diao Trophy. He rose to fame with 12 goals in 2 matches during the MTFA Trophy 2022 and won multiple Golden Boots Award. Also a qualified AIFF D licensed coach, Kemp has trained young players and won Best Coach in 2019. As he waved goodbye to a cheering crowd, it marked the end of a legendary chapter in Naga football history. Monlumo Kigon, the BJP's only national spokesperson from the Northeast, have resigned, ending his over-decade-long association with the party. In his letter to BJP chief J.B. Nadda, Kigon said he wants to recalibrate his journey and explore new paths in public engagement and policy work. He called his tenure deeply enriching, noting his role as Mizoram in charge and his outreach in Christian majority states. While no political reasons were cited, party sources suggest his exit may be linked to Congress over limited space for constructive views and treatment of Christian minorities in the region. The BJP is yet to release an official response. The Longsa Village Council has appealed to the Deputy Commissioner of Mokokchung to urgently monitor and regulate heavy vehicle traffic on the aging Diku Bellied Bridge on NH202, built in 1960s by the Pro with an 8-ton load limit. The historic bridge is now in poor condition and risks collapse. The council urged authorities to deploy police to enforce weight limits and prevent overloaded vehicles, stressing the need for immediate action to protect public safety and infrastructure. The Nagaland State Pharmacy Council has issued a notice warning on penalties under the Pharmacy Act 1948 to ensure public health and safety. Obstructing a pharmacy inspector can lead to a fine up to ₹1 lakh. Falsely claiming to be a registered pharmacist can result in fines up to ₹2 lakh and possible imprisonment. Dispensing medicines without registration is punishable by up to 3 months in jail or fine up to ₹2 lakh. The council urges everyone to comply with the law. The 5th Millet Festival was celebrated in Shamato town with the theme Millet, Ancient Grain, Enduring Lives, promoting sustainable farming and cultural heritage. Organized by Siwa Shamator with Men and Mini, over 300 participants from 6 villages attended. MLA Kyoshu Yimkyong pressed efforts to revive millet, calling it the mother of all crops, and urged the revival of other indigenous crops. Speakers highlighted millet nutritional and climate benefits. The festival featured a farmers' market, seeds exhibit, competitions, and cultural shows supporting food sovereignty and seed preservation. K. Tokuga Sukalu, advisor and chairperson of the Committee on Urban Local Bodies and Nagaland Village Council, has convened a committee meeting on 19 August 2025 at 11 a.m. The meeting will be held at the C. Chongshan Committee Room in the Assembly Secretariat, Kohima. The meeting will deliberate on matters concerning the Nagaland Municipal Act 2023 and the Nagaland Village and Tribal Council Act 1978. All committee members have been requested to attend the meeting without fail. The Office of District Civil Supply Officer Mogokchung has directed ineligible PHH and AAY ration card holders to surrender their cards by August 30, 2025. As per the Nagaland Food and Security Rules, government servants except daily wages, Anganwadi Asha workers and grade 4 staff and those with annual family incomes over 2.5 lakh are not eligible for these schemes. Non-compliance with a track action under the National Food Security Act. Eligible individuals may apply for general household ration cards with room available at the DC Supply Office and BTC centers across subdivisions. Deputy Commissioner of Noklak P. Mono Kemingan has announced that a mass social work will be conducted in Noklak town on 9th August from 7 a.m. onwards as a part of the lead-up to India's 79th Independence Day celebration. All government departments, ward councils and sectors councils have been urged to encourage staff and residents to actively take part in the initiative to promote community cleanliness and civic responsibility. Nagaland Deputy Chief Minister Yantung Opadan led surprise inspection at various government offices in Woka, assessing staff attendance and reinforcing the state's no work, no pay policy. The inspection revealed absentees without valid reasons, prompting immediate action, including salary deductions. Baton emphasized that public service is a responsibility, not an option, and assured that such checks will continue to promote discipline and accountability. Officers inspected included school education departments, civil supply and the SP office with attendance statuses varying from near full strength to significant absenteeism. The National Archives of India, in collaboration with the Higher Education Department Nagaland, organized an exhibition on development of education in northeastern India on August 8. The event was inaugurated by Dimja Nimna Along, Minister of Higher Education and Tourism Nagaland, and graced by Samar Nanda, Joint Secretary, Minister of Culture and Director General of Archives. The exhibition showcases the region's educational evolution, highlighting its unique journey shaped by tribal traditions, linguistic diversity, missionary influences, colonial legacy, and post-independence development. It features original archival documents including government files, private papers, photographs, rare manuscripts, and official records. The exhibition aims to deepen public understanding and promote national pride in documentary cultural heritage while ensuring its preservation for posterity.
The initiatives have been very huge in our small state of Nagaland. So, through our National Archive DG, we want to say thank you to the Ministry of Culture, to the archives, for being persistent in your efforts to come to Nagaland and do one thing or the other that is of very significant importance. As I walk through after cutting the ribbon, my dear students, I know you are not very happy because you have not seen your scholarship thing there, second phase, huh? But it's okay. You will get it in time. But as I was going through, and the way education has been amplified through decades of hard work of the policymakers and the lawmakers and the educationists of this nation has been immense. Today, my dear young friends, you are doing your BA, BSc, BCom, or you are doing your first semester, third semester, sixth. I would like to address to you much more. When our eminent speakers have spoken so much about the importance of education, we who are sitting today in good classrooms and studying and trying to get our education done by acquiring certificates of your own achievements, we also have to remember how we have come about. Actually, I would like to encourage, even though we are a very small state, and as I was looking at the Nagaland, that was shown, it was showing in Murung, the Murung kind of education that we were practicing in our days of our forefathers. And I think Nagaland is a diverse state with indigenous people. Actually, I wouldn't even like to call ourselves tribals, because the word tribals has come from the British thought process. And then today in the nation, there are so many people who want to get tribal status because of some reservations or some privileges. But we, the Naga people, today the 17 people groups, whether it's Angami, where the Kohima, Dr. Ato belongs to the Angami Naga, Reverend Rutsa is an Angami Naga, Dr. Kenny is Angami Naga, then our ex-official director, Madam Lomitoli Sumi Naga, I belong to our Naga. Like that, there are Sangam Nagas and Konyaks and so on. It is to be documented how our forefathers still, in the so-called poorness of the modern system, were still being able to have a very disciplined community.
We'll be right back after a short break. Keep watching Nltv. Welcome back. Now the next news. The monthly DBTB Kohima meeting was held on 8 August 2025 at a DBTB conference hall chaired by Gavi Poto Sofi MLA with Deputy Commissioner B. Henok Pucham presiding. The DC expressed gratitude to officials for their support during the Dr. T. Au football tournament, and the chairman welcomed SP Kroti Retso to the board. A major highlight was a presentation by Vinizolu, Deputy Commissioner of Excise Zonal, on enforcement activities under the Nltv Act 1989 and NTPS Act 1985. From January 2024 to June 2025, the Excise Department registered 1,040 cases, seized 1,725 kg heroin and 9,000 bottles of gotine syrup, collecting fines totaling rupees 11.26 lakh. The board also approved proposal under the LADP 2025-26, urging departments to coordinate with the planning officer to avoid duplication. On the Sechu Zubza headquarter relocation, the SCOC briefed members about a joint consultative meeting held in July. A committee including 14 villages and the Western Ankami Public Organization will be formed to follow up. The veterinary department will give the next presentation. Health Engineering Department has launched a nationwide Har Ghar Tiranga, Har Ghar Swachhata campaign, aligning with the national mission to celebrate Independence Day and promote cleanliness. Minister Jacob Jimomi described the campaign as a blend of patriotism and sanitation awareness, aiming to inspire communities to hoist the national flag while maintaining clean surroundings. The initiative enforces the government's commitment to the Swachh Bharat mission, with PHET teams working with local bodies, schools and community leaders to ensure active participation through awareness drives, cleanliness activities and community mobilization events.
Gandhi dreamed of an India which was not only free but also clean and developed. Mahatma Gandhi secured freedom for Mother India. Now it is our duty to serve Mother India by keeping the country neat and clean. I take this pledge that I will remain committed towards cleanliness and devote time for this. I will devote 100 hours per year, that is 4 hours per week, to voluntarily work for cleanliness. I will neither litter nor let others litter. I will initiate the quest for cleanliness with myself, my family, my locality, my village, and my workplace. I believe that the countries of the world that appear clean are so because their citizens don't indulge in littering, nor do they allow it to happen. With this firm belief, I will propagate the message of Swachh Bharat mission in villages and towns. I will encourage 100 other persons to take this pledge, which I am taking today. I will endeavor to make them devote their 100 hours for cleanliness. I am confident that every step I take towards cleanliness will help in making my country clean. Thank you. Engineer, PhD, Yang declared the launching of Har Ghar Tiranga, Har Ghar Swachhata 2025 campaign. Thank you.
The Nagaland Public Health Engineering Department's Jal Jeevan Mission team visited Government Middle School, Bezocha on August 8 to promote cleanliness and hygiene under the Swachhata movement. The initiative team Har Ghar Tiranga, Har Ghar Swachhata, JJM and SPMG aim to educate students and the community about proper sanitation and safe water use, empowering young citizens as cleanliness ambassadors. This effort reflects the state commitment to building healthier communities. Notably, Nagaland has made significant progress under the Jal Jeevan mission, with 92% of households having access to clean water, according to recent government data. Tuensang District Legal Services Authority conducted nationwide SATE campaign under the aegis of the National Level Services Authority in collaboration with the Aadhaar Enrollment, District Administration, District Education Office, Department of Economics and Statistics, Chief Medical Officers and District Social Welfare Department at Town Hall Tuensang on 7th August. The free legal service camp aimed to provide legal identity and social welfare, access to destitute children under 18 years of age, Aadhaar registration and issuing of birth certificate. Altogether, 27 birth certificates, Aadhaar 36 registration enrolled and 60 affidavits filed. The 5th Inter-Department Badminton Tournament began on August 8 at Nagaland Legislative Assembly Stadium, Kohima. Dr. Gevizake Rio, Joint Mission Director of Samagra Shiksha Nagaland, inaugurated the event, encouraging participants to stay active and foster teamwork. Engineer Vipolu, President of Inter-Departmental Badminton Club, highlighted the tournament's aim to promote interaction and healthy breaks for officers and staff. The event features 61 teams from various departments with cultural performances and prayers marking the opening ceremony. Free assistive device camps were held in 4 blocks of Tunsang from August 4 to 7, providing wheelchairs, hearing aids, and more to persons with disabilities and senior citizens. Organized by the CMO Tunsang, Alimki, Kanpur, and local health centers, the camp accessed 1,120 people and issued 291 disability certificates and UTID cards. Participants were also informed about their rights and benefits. The NSS cell of Yingli College, Longland, in collaboration with the Department of Youth Resources and Sports, Government of Nagaland, organized the Viksit Bharat Yuva Connect Program 2025 on August 6 at Borgohain Hall, held under the theme Emergency Period in India. The event featured a debate competition and youth parliament session to raise awareness about the Indian Parliament's role in society. Assistant Professor Kira Hunglei chaired the program with a welcome address by Vice Principal Dr. B. Henshi Pom. District Sports Officer Kenong Goto, the resource person, spoke on the significance of youth parliament in engaging the nation's youth. Winners of the debate included Chutai L. Pom and P. Pangmei Pom. District Youth Parliament winners were Ki Hung Naulu, Hai Hing, Hang Tong Pom, and La Tong Pom. The event saw the participation of 260 attendees, including 240 NSS volunteers and 19 faculty members. The event concluded with a vote of thanks by Assistant Professor Dapni Chungpang. A mass social work drive was held on August 8 at the parent district headquarters, involving officials from various departments to clean and beautify the area ahead of Independence Day. Attendance was strictly recorded to ensure coordination. In Mogokchong, Deputy Commissioner Ajit Kumar Verma announced the 17th Independence Day celebration will start at 8:40 a.m. at Imkongmaran Sports Complex. All government staffs are required to attend, with strict attendance enforcement and action for absentees without leave. The Yumkyung Union of Kohima celebrated Metumnyo Festival at Botanical Garden, New Minister Hill, Kohima on 8 August. President of the Yumkyung Union Kohima, Akam, shared in brief the significance of the festival, that Metumnyo consists of 3 words: Mi meaning spirit or soul, Dum meaning rep, and Neo meaning feast. The Metumnyo festival is celebrated after the millet crop is harvested, thus honoring both life and death and the souls of the departed, praying for bountiful harvest and celebrating communal unity. A short speech was delivered by YTC Finance Secretary Yin Kyu, where he said that the festival role is to foster unity, strengthen bonds, renew hope, and share prosperity. He also emphasized on the usage of the right spelling for Metumnyo. Eviction drive begins today at the number Nikiribil in Merapani against illegal occupants. The Forest Department had earlier given 205 families in Doyang Forest area until August 7 to vacate their homes. Nearly 100 forest personnel, police and administration officials have been mobilized, with administrative camps already set up at the Merapani public playground. On July 24, eviction notices were served asking residents to vacate within 7 days. Later, the Guwahati High Court granted an extension of 7 days to 59 families in the village, pushing their deadline to August 8. Most families have already packed up and left ahead of the eviction. Recently, the High Court again granted the same 59 families an additional 7 days, extending their final date to August 14. The District Planning and Development Board meeting was held on August 7 in Zunheboto under Deputy Commissioner Dharamraj. Key highlights included the approval to register Suruhoto Area Sports Association as a society and proposal for Zunheboto Government College to introduce new academic programs like sociology and integrated B.Ed. The college principal stressed the need for more teachers and better road conditions. Dr. Vihoto Asumi of Sumihoho raised concern about frequent faculty transfer weakening the college, especially affecting students from underprivileged backgrounds. The Deputy Commissioner assured action to stop faculty attachments and emphasized merit-based appointments to improve education quality. The meeting also planned departmental duties for the 79th Independence Day celebration. The Land Resources Department presented updates on schemes like e-Shram and medical aid. The Urban Development Department will present next. The government of India has raised at least 334 major incidents of violence against minorities with Pakistan and flagged 3,582 such cases in Bangladesh since 2021. Minister of State for External Affairs Kriti Vardhan Singh informed Parliament that India has urged Pakistan to discharge its constitutional obligations toward its citizens, including minority communities, and end sectarian violence and religious intolerance. In Bangladesh, Singh said the government has shared concerns about minority safety and welfare with the Bangladesh government at the highest levels. The UN and Human Rights Watch have expressed concern over violence and human rights abuses in both countries, with the UN experts calling on Pakistan to prevent extrajudicial killings and attacks on places of worship, and Human Rights Watch highlighting arbitrary detentions and slow accountability for past abuses in Bangladesh. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami visited Tarali village in Uttarkashi on Friday to assess damage and ongoing relief operation following severe floods and landslide. During his visit, he met affected families and assured full government support. Roads, bridges, homes, hotels and orchards have been destroyed. Many have lost their loved ones, said Dhami, adding that mobile and power services were disturbed due to the damage to roads and infrastructure. Over 840 people have been rescued so far, including 566 on Friday alone, with Chinook helicopters and state aircraft aiding to the evacuation. Efforts are ongoing to rescue remaining individuals from Gangotri and Harsil army camp, while rescue officials said at least 50 people remain missing. The State Disaster Management Authority has confirmed 16 missing, 9 army personnel and 7 civilians.
देखिए, आप देख रहे हैं कि पूरा ये जो धराली नगर था पूरा का पूरा आपदा की भेंट चढ़ गया, और ऐसे अनेक रास्ते, अनेक पुल, यहाँ के भवन, होटल, होम स्टे, मकान जो भी थे, सब जो है इस प्रलय में बिल्कुल समाप्त हो गए। लोग परेशान हैं, उन्होंने अपने किसी परिजनों को खोया है, अपने सारा जो यहाँ सेब के बगीचे थे वो भी पूरी तरह से इस आपदा की भेंट चढ़ गए हैं। लेकिन हम उनको सबको भरोसा दिलाते हैं। मैं आया हूँ आज उनको भरोसा दिलाने के लिए कि जल्दी ही हम सभी व्यवस्थाओं को यहाँ पर व्यवस्थित करेंगे। यहाँ पर बिजली अभी बिल्कुल पूरी तरह से लॉस्ट हो गई है। जल्दी से जल्दी हमारा प्रयास है कि यहाँ पर फिर से बिजली आए। टेलीफोन के टावर पूरी तरह से क्षतिग्रस्त हो गए हैं, जिससे कनेक्टिविटी बिल्कुल समाप्त हो गई है। हमारा प्रयास है जल्दी से जल्दी B-सेट एक आज आ गया है मातली तक, उसको जल्दी से जल्दी यहाँ पर रिस्टॉल किया जाएगा। इसी प्रकार बिजली के लिए भी काम हो रहा है। सड़क कई जगह से क्षतिग्रस्त हो गई है, क्योंकि गंगोत्री से यहाँ तक तो मार्ग बना है, लेकिन आगे का सारा मार्ग समाप्त हो गया है। इसी प्रकार वहाँ गंगनानी के पास पुल से लेकर सड़क अनेक स्थानों पर क्षतिग्रस्त है। सभी लोग मिलकर स्टेट का पीडब्ल्यूडी डिपार्टमेंट, एनएच, बीआरओ, एनडीआरएफ, एसडीआरएफ, सेना के लोग, आईटीबीपी के लोग, अन्य एजेंसियों के लोग, सभी हमारी मदद के लिए आ रहे हैं और सबका मिलकर प्रयास है कि जल्दी से जल्दी सब व्यवस्थाएं ठीक हों। और हमारे लगभग 500 करीब यहाँ यात्री थे, जिसमें से 400 लोगों को लगभग अभी तक मातली, उत्तरकाशी और देहरादून अभी तक रेस्क्यू किया जा चुका है। जो लोग अभी यहाँ गंगोत्री से चल के, अन्य स्थानों से चल के जो हरसिल में सेना का कैंप है, वहाँ से चिनूक हेलीकॉप्टर से और स्टेट के हेलीकॉप्टरों से लगातार उनको रेस्क्यू किया जा रहा है। आज शाम तक मौसम यदि सही रहता है तो सारे यात्री जो पूरे देश भर के यात्री हैं यहाँ पर दर्शन के लिए आए, उन सभी को सुरक्षित स्थानों पर पहुंचा दिया जाएगा। और धराली मेरा गांव है, फिर से आबाद हो, फिर से सारी व्यवस्थाएं वहां पर अवस्थापनाएं बने, उसके लिए हमारी सरकार हर संभव पुनर्वास से लेकर सभी प्रकार की व्यवस्थाएं करेंगी। बच्चों के लिए आज यहाँ पर दूध इत्यादि की व्यवस्था हो रही है, अन्य व्यवस्थाएं, दवाइयों की, भोजन की, सभी व्यवस्था यहाँ पर कर रहे हैं, कपड़ों से लेकर। और हमारा प्रशासन, हमारी सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है कि हर एक व्यक्ति को इसमें मदद करी जाए।
रेस्क्यू इवैक्यूएशन में अभी हम मौके पे ही हैं और मेरी टीम लगी हुई है, डीआरएफ, एसडीआरएफ, डिस्ट्रिक्ट की टीम, आर्मी का टीम भी है। तो अभी तक 49 मिसिंग का डेटा हमने कल कलेक्ट किया है। कल हम लोग सारा रेवेन्यू और इससे एडमिशन टीम मौके पे ही थे, बैठे थे, मेडिकल कैंप भी लगा दिया, एक्स ग्राशिया भी हमने डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर दिया है, चेक दे दिया है। आज कैश के लिए भी मैंने मांग लिया था, मंगा लिया है, कैश भी हम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर देंगे। कृषि और उद्यान अपना आकलन कर रहा है जो लॉसेज हुए हैं, साथ ही जो मेडिकल कैंप है वो भी चल रहा है। कम्युनिटी किचन हम
The Supreme Court has declined to hear a public interest litigation seeking the appointment of a retired top court judge to examine Air India's safety practices, maintenance procedures and operation protocols. The petitioner Narendra Kumar Goswami, a lawyer, had filed appeal in July, citing concerns over Air India's safety standards. However, a bench of Justices Surya Kant and Joy Malia asked Goswami to withdraw the petition and approach the appropriate forum instead, questioning why he targeted Air India specifically after its recent tragic incident. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has criticized Israel's decision to escalate its offensive in Gaza, calling it wrong and urging immediate reconsideration. He warned of a worsening humanitarian crisis and said the move would only lead to more bloodshed, not peace or hostage releases. Starmer called for an immediate ceasefire, more humanitarian aid and the release of all hostages, while stressing that Hamas must disarm and leave Gaza. He reaffirmed the UK's support for a two-state solution. NASA Interim Administrator Sean Duffy has announced plans to install a nuclear reactor on the lunar surface by 2030, citing a space race with China to claim the moon's most resource-rich areas. The reactor will provide 100 kilowatts of power, enough to sustain a permanent human presence on the moon. Duffy emphasized the importance of energy for setting up a base on the moon, particularly in regions with water ice and continuous sunlight, such as near the South Pole. The reactor will not be active during launch from Earth, addressing safety concerns. This initiative is a part of the Artemis program, which aims to establish a sustainable human presence on the moon.
We're in a race to the moon, in a race with China to the moon, and to have a base on the moon, we need energy. And some of the key locations on the moon, we're going to get solar power. But this fission technology is critically important. And so we've spent hundreds of $millions studying, can we do it? we are now going to move beyond study, and we have given direction to go, let's start to deploy our technology to move to actually make this a reality. And I think the stat we have is it's a 100 kilowatt output. That's the same amount of energy a 2,000 square foot home uses every 3.5 days. So we're not talking about massive technology. We're not launching this live. That's obviously, if you have any questions about that, no, we're not launching it live. But again, energy is important. And if we're going to be able to sustain life on the moon to then go to Mars, this technology is critically important. And I would just note that we're behind, right? If we're going to engage in the race to the moon and the race to Mars, we have to get our act together. We have to marshal all of our resources, all of our focus on going to the moon, which is what we're going to do. And again, there's a lot of things that NASA does, and a lot of people love a lot of the things that NASA does. But this is about space exploration, and this is about this next phase. A lot of people don't know even what Artemis is. Everyone knew what Apollo was. We all knew, the whole world knew what Apollo was. We were going to the moon. Artemis is we're going back. So in the first part of next year, we are going to send Artemis 2 out. Met the 4 astronauts, they're fantastic. We're gonna go out around the moon and come back. Artemis 3, we are going to go back to the moon. We're gonna land. The longest time we've spent in the past was 3 days. We're gonna stay for 6 days. And then after that, we're able to start shipping our assets to the moon unmanned, and we'll have those assets there as our astronauts arrive and are able to build a base. But this is critically important. There's a certain part of the moon that everyone knows is the best. We have ice there, we have sunlight there. We want to get there.
Kapil Sharma's restaurant in Canada's Surrey, Cap's Cafe, was fired at for the second time in month, which shows the matching windows and building. The incident occurred early on August 7. No injuries were reported. The cafe, which opened on July 4, had earlier said it remains committed to spreading joy despite the violence. Police are investigating. Russian President Vladimir Putin plans to meet U.S. President Donald Trump overseas while facing an international criminal court arrest warrant. However, Putin's travel plans have been notable given the ICC warrant for alleged war crimes linked to Ukraine. Recently, Putin's visit to India has been a topic of discussion, with Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov confirming the plans, although the exact dates are still being finalized. Putin's travel history shows he has visited countries like Mongolia, an ICC member, without incident. And other nations like the UAE, which is not an ICC member, could potentially host such a meeting. Russia stands on the ICC's authority shared with the US aids complexity to the such diplomatic engagements. Cambodia has nominated U.S. President Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize, becoming the third country to back his bid after Pakistan and Israel. Prime Minister Hun Manet praised Trump's role in halting the Cambodia-Thailand border conflict and applauded his extraordinary statesmanship. In a Facebook post, Manet shared a letter sent to the Norwegian Nobel Committee, highlighting Trump's effort to de-escalate tension globally and reduce tariffs on Cambodian goods. We'll be right back after a short break. Keep watching Nltv. Welcome back. Now the next news. A 37-year-old woman in the U.S., Jessica Copeland, has been arrested for child neglect and animal abuse after leaving her teen son and 7 starving dogs alone in filthy conditions while she went to Las Vegas for a party. Authorities found the home covered in animal waste and garbage, with dogs severely malnourished and living in squalor. The teen revealed the house had been in that state for years as his mother refuses to clean. Israel's security cabinet approves plan to take over Gaza City, expanding its 22-month offensive against Hamas. PM Netanyahu aims to control Gaza Strip fully and hand administration to the friendly Arab forces. The move risks lives of Palestinians and Israeli hostages, sparking protests and warnings from security officials. The U.S. sees India as a strategic partner and maintain a full and frank dialogue, says State Department official Tommy Pickett. President Trump has been clear about concerns over India's trade imbalance and purchase of Russian oil, taking action accordingly. Despite differences, the U.S. stresses open communication to address issues and strengthen ties. This comes ahead of PM Modi's visit to China for the SCO summit.
And has been very clear in terms of the concerns he has regarding the trade imbalance, regarding the concerns he has when it comes to the purchase of Russian oil. He's going to take action directly on that, and I refer to the President's comments for that. India is a strategic partner with whom we engage in a full and frank dialogue. That'll continue. The Secretary also spoke to that. Like anything in foreign policy, you're not going to align 100% of the time on everything. But it is very clear, the President's been clear, the concerns that he has with the trade imbalance, the concerns he has with India purchasing Russian oil. He's been clear on that. He's taken action, and I refer you to his comments for further on that. Well, what this is about is an honest, full, and frank dialogue about real concerns that this administration has, that the President has outlined very clearly, addressing those concerns through his actions. He's spoken about them, whether it's about the purchase of Russian oil, whether it's about the trade imbalance. Addressing those concerns is important. And that's part of what it means to have a frank dialogue, to address those concerns that you have.
Erin Patterson, known as Australia mushroom murderer, faces fresh allegations of trying to poison her estranged husband before the 2023 deadly beef Wellington case. She was found guilty of killing 3 relatives with toxic mushrooms and attempting to murder a local pastor. Patterson will be sentenced on August 25, with her legal team able to appeal within 28 days. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval met Russian President Vladimir Putin at the Kremlin to discuss bilateral cooperation. Doval invited Putin to visit India later this year, and Putin accepted. The talks focus on energy, defense, and strengthening ties between, despite external pressures. Doval also met the Russian Security Council Secretary Sergei Shoigu, who emphasized continued cooperation for a just world order. The visit coincided with the U.S. imposing higher tariffs on India goods over Russian oil imports. China and Pakistan's growing defense collaboration has expanded into artificial intelligence, with the secretive Kinetic Center for Artificial Intelligence and Computing at its core. Established in 2020, Kinetic aims to transform the Pakistan Air Force into a high-speed network force, potentially integrating Chinese command networks for faster decision-making and real-time battlefield intelligence. This development has raised concern about its implications for regional security, particularly for India.
So, how did this integration between Pakistan and China take place? I want to make it clear. There is a center called CENTIAC, Center for AI and Computing, that was built in Pakistan with Chinese help. that was built in Pakistan with Chinese help. And the aim of the center is to integrate the Pakistani Air Force with the Chinese Air Force and make and transform the Pakistani Air Force into a network-centric Air Force. Because as I speak, and since 2021, Pakistani officers, strategic officers have been embedded in the PLA's Western and Northern Theater Commands. They are sitting there, coordinating. So it is important to understand that you did not have political will, that you did not give freedom of maneuver, but there is another problem. And the problem is that we are now facing not just China, not just Pakistan, but China and Pakistan fused as one militarily.
US President Donald Trump has indicated that trade negotiation with India will not proceed until the issue of tariffs is resolved. He reportedly made a remark in the Oval Office when asked about the status of trade relations following the announcement of a 50% tariff on Indian goods. In response, India's Ministry of External Affairs stated that the US actions were unjustified and unreasonable. The ministry also said that India would take all necessary measures to protect its national and economic interests. Commitment on the border implications, Indian-American lawyer Ravi Patra said that more was at stake and stressed the need for a mature reset in global relations. This is all we have in English Primetime. For more news and updates, keep watching Nltv.